If you can fix a mistake, fix it. Welcome to the most transformative podcast in the multiverse. This is the Mastermind Podcast Challenge, and this is the episode 621. My name is Dr. Derek Israel, clinical psychologist, life coach, entrepreneur, and spiritual guru. Today, I will not do a crazy screaming in the podcast. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I do like kind of an epic intro. But today, let me tell you that I just how can I say this? I basically put to sleep my baby, my three. Well, she's not a baby anymore, and she doesn't like that I call her baby. She's my 3 years old daughter, and I just put her to sleep on my chest right now here on the studio, and she's sleeping like 3 feet uh in behind of this camera. So if I scream or if I do a crazy intro, she will be waking up like a dragon. And this is the first time ever as a parent that I am recording a podcast with her in the studio, like voluntarily. Sometimes she enter to the studio, she opened the door, she enter, and I am like, "Hey, mother, please." Grab her and take her out because she starts screaming, crying. She wants to do the podcast, and hey, maybe I'm not so integrated. I need to confess, like my wife always tell me, you are not integrated with your content and your daughter. Like, you, so many influencers, they are very okay if their daughter or their son scream in, in life, and you are always pissed off if she scream because you are obsessed with the quality of the content. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not that integrated yet, but I am making small improvements. Like, I am recording this episode with her sleeping here in the room. I'm nervous as hell. I don't want her to wake up. I don't want this episode to be interrupted, but I am taking the risk because risking is not only in, investing and in personal development and with the partner that you choose, but also with paternity and maternity, in the way that you choose to raise your children. Also, you are investing all the time in this type of stuff, different types, different methods of discipline, different stories that you invest on and you risk on. And everything that you say to your child is a risk. You don't know how they will interpret that thing, how they will conjure or configure that thing in their minds. And sometimes you are just making a normal story and they get traumatized, stuff like that. Like, for example, a couple of days, not maybe a couple of months ago, I was speaking about the witch archetype, because I made an episode about it. You can listen that episode and watch it on my YouTube channel or Spotify. It is called the witch archetype, and I was speaking about the witch and the magic and stuff like that. And then my baby girl is like, "Oh, the witch is coming," and blah blah blah. I'm like, "Baby, don't get scared. This, I tried to explain to her, this is my work. No witch is coming. You are the witch." But it's a 3 years old, so she doesn't have the adult mind, obviously. Children are another species by itself. Like, we tend to treat children, and I know that I don't speak a lot about paternity and maternity in the podcast. I will be doing that more often in the future because I am getting better as a parent, and this content is, I am getting more ready, feeling more ready to discuss a little bit of parenting psychology, stuff like that. But another idea is that, the child is another species. It's not just a minor man or a minor inferior small adult. It's not that. It's another entirely species. It's an alien. So what for you is something rational and logic and that makes sense for your child, it will be another huge thing, another thing entirely, because they live in the mythopoetic realm. And I have an episode about it that is one of the most important episodes of the whole podcast. Is called Live a Mythopoetic Life or Do Not Live at All. And children live in this mythopoetic life in which everything is magical, everything is vital, everything is mystic, everything has a substance on it. But then we, grow up and we see the world as mechanic, something that doesn't have any type of life on it, and we are screwed. So our basic work on personal development is to become a child again. You need to be at 3 years old, but with the responsibility and the cognitive functions of the adult. It's not like you are going to regress to that stage and to be very problematic. Is that you need to regret to that stage in order to be creative, intuitive, magic, and but having good organizational, psychological attributes and functions. Oh, maybe she's waking up. Fuck. No, she's not waking up. Okay. um, and functions of the adult. So it's a good combination of both. You need the good combination of both. So today, what I'm gonna discuss is a subject. Is gonna be short. It's gonna be to the point. It's gonna be a reflection. All right, and it's that if you made a mistake, fix it. If you made a mistake, fix it. Like when we are doing personal development, we tend to think that we are perfect, right? Because we are basically perfecting our character. That is what we are doing. We are on a mission of sophisticating our energy, of sophisticating our essence. You see. So sometimes we think that we have an unfallible, unfaulty, on error, or without a mistake type of behavior, a perfect behavior, a perfect ethics. If you want more on that, go to the episode is on English called Divine Morality is Based on Love. You will learn a lot about perfect ethics and divine morality there. So we have this standard for our behavior, for our words, for our leadership, for our relationships, for our art, because we are cognizant. We are cognizant of our stuff, because that's what we do. We expand our consciousness, and with the expansion of our consciousness comes responsibility. That is a metaphor of Spider-Man. Spider-Man becomes Spider-Man, aka more conscious. It has more superpowers, and with that comes more responsibility. Now he can climb, he can almost fly, he can punch, he can do this and that. With that comes responsibility. When you are expanding your consciousness, you become wise, you become compassionate, you become lovable. With that comes responsibility. And sometimes we think that, hey, we have the responsibility to make everything good with capital G, to make everything perfect, like in our finances, in our business, in our sex, in our relationship. Like we need to be on point every moment, in every moment of our life. And what is going on with that? Well, that is your ego. Again, the enemy. Remember, the enemy is sneaky. Your ego is sneaky. So when you think that your ego is not there, that is your ego thinking that your ego is not there. You see? Your ego is always there. Because if you have no ego, you have no you. And if you have no you, then there's no one to think there is no ego. You see, it's a paradox. It's an infinite regression. It's a problem. It's a mysterious godlike problem. Because the nature of the ego is also the nature of God. You see. but that is another subject. But anyways, your ego is the only one that think, oh, if I am personally developed, I need to be perfect in everything too, so I don't need to make a mistake, or I cannot make a mistake. That is your ego, dude. You can't have mistakes. You can't do mistakes. You're supposed to fail. You're supposed to fall short sometimes. Nothing wrong with that. Our expectation as personal developers is that you will fix that thing. After you realize, hey, I am doing a mistake here, like I'm now conscious of it. Now you have our new responsibility. And this is a very important one, that you go and you fix it. It's not about to become conscious just for the fun of becoming conscious. It's becoming conscious in order to grow, in order to fix, in order to resolve. And that is a very powerful word, to resolve. And it's not only solutionating or solving problems. When you are resolved, you are determined, you are directed, you are resolved to do something. And when you resolve problems, you become resolve itself. Yourself becomes resolve, become one thing, one power of focus, one power of concentration, one directionality of energy. And when you are one directionality of energy, oh boy, please, obstacles, you need to get out of your way, because this guy is gonna break you in half. That is what you do when you are one point focused. That is God. God is penetration and absorption as well. So God is something that is penetrating and receiving at the same time. Something beautiful, God, huh? So the whole point of personal development is to become more conscious of the areas that you are falling short and to fix them. How you can become more conscious of this? Well, I strongly recommend that you listen to 2 episodes that I just recorded today, and I uploaded them this week. One is called Key Performance Indicators for Personal Development, and the other is called Law of Pareto, or Pareto's Law for Personal Development. Those two techniques, and they are not techniques, they are more kind of philosophies and strategies, are excellent in order to see your flaws, in order to detect your weaknesses. And when you detect them, you correct them. But also just follow your intuition, dude. Like your heart, it knows when you make something that is not right. And now maybe my baby girl is waking up. Oh my God. Oh, she's moving. She's moving from one position to another. Derek Israel reporting here, guys. I'm in trouble. I am in trouble. She's sleeping. She's sleeping. Okay. We are good. We are good. We are good. We continue. I will whisper the entire podcast. I hope that you don't mind. Oh no, I'm just kidding. Um, I will give you an example of today that I just realized you know, I was as stupid as I can be. Today I was having a lot of stress. I had my mother asking me for one thing, my wife for another thing, my father for another thing, all at the same time. My daughter asking for my attention, and I was trying to divide, and I was trying to make everything great. And my daughter took a bottle of water, and she threw the water. She slipped the water in my face and in my laptop. Like, she did it. I don't know. Maybe she was asking for attention. Maybe she didn't play. Playfully. I got pissed and I took the bottle of water and I slipped the water back to her. Like, I make her wet also. Like, we were both wet. And I told her, hey, never do what you are not willing to receive. And I tried to make that lesson, right? Sometimes you do that, right? You do that with children. Like, if they do something, you do it back because they need to know. Like other children, they will do it back. They will not just say, hey, baby, don't do that. But then I realized that was a stupid, stupid reaction, man. That was a reaction. That was not a response. That was a reaction. And then I meditate on that, and I realized that she was asking for my attention. She wanted to play. And sometimes they don't know how to communicate. So she thought in her little brain, in her simple brain, that maybe if I slip some water on daddy, he will pay attention to me and we can play. But when she did that, the reaction of daddy was to be pissed and make her wet also. And she started crying because she's like, only I want to play with you, daddy, and you are treating me badly. You are treating me hostile. And that was just wrong. Like, it was just wrong. It was a mistake. I am being vulnerable here. I feel very bad about it. Maybe you're saying, "Oh, Derek, that is just normal. You're not perfect. All good. We all parents do that." I know. But I just want to make that point. So I am trying to remedy. I am trying to fix this. I spoke it with my wife. I spoke it with my mother. I meditate on it. I ask for her forgiveness. I say after that, baby, I'm sorry. Uh, you know, I made a mistake. I made peace with her. I put it on my chest. I put her on sleep, and we are good. Like that is long ago, long past. But that is just a mistake that I own, and I just felt in my heart that was wrong after I did it. So notice I am not perfect. I, I made mistakes in my parenting, in personal development, as a teacher, as a businessman, as a salesman, as a partner, as a spiritual entity, as a psychologist. I made mistakes, but what I'm trying to do is to become conscious of them and do the best of my ability, the best that I can do to fix them, because that is the responsibility that I got. The responsibility that I got is not to make mistakes. They will come. And when you are trying something new, and when you are putting high standards on you, sometimes you have a lot of pressure. And sometimes that pressure is not transformed to power, because to transform pressure to power, is a process. It's a process of transmutation and transubstantiation. And sometimes you are in the process, man. You have your neurotics, you have your personality, you have your immature tendencies. And I have those. And what can I do? Well, I just try to fix them. And I know that I will not succeed forever. So I will die by mistake. By that I mean that even when I am dying, I will be doing mistakes. I will be doing errors. But the whole journey of trying to fix that and to see who I become in my way to fix those, I think is a very worthwhile journey. That is the real personal development journey. That is why it is called development. It is not called personal realized journey. No, you are not realized. You are developing. It's a development, it's a process. It's a ladder. You are going upward, you fall back 2 steps, and then you go back and you run, you sprint 10 steps forward, and that's it. It's bloody, it's sweaty, it's nasty sometimes. You got tears, you got it's a tough journey. But at the end of the day, dude, what else you will do? Like after you get to know personal development and spiritual expansion and profundity of life and connection to existence, what the hell you will do with your life if it's not this? This is heaven. This is heaven. This is beauty. This is truth. This is integrity, ultimate integrity. And for more on that, go to my 2 episodes. They will radically transform your life. One of them is called What is Truth and How to Actualize It, and the other one is called The Ultimate Integrity. Man, those episodes will transform everything for you. So I want you to be more conscious of your mistakes, okay? And be willing and vulnerable enough to fix them with boldness, with bravery, with compassion, and with understanding. But that is part of the process because this is a development and you are developing. All good. All good. This was Dr. Derek Israel. Please leave a comment of your opinion below. Whatever thoughts you want to share, I will be answering you back. Please remember that you can donate on Patreon. The link is on the description. And by donating to Patreon, you are guaranteeing that this podcast will continue to transform thousands of lives around the world completely free. So that way you can support my work only with $5 per month. Also, remember that you can join our Telegram group. It's completely free, and the link is also in the description. And don't forget to visit derekisrael.com. See there for yourself all the courses. Enroll at least in one. You are going to transform your life in whatever course you select. Life purpose course, the meditation one, the hyper productivity, the integrity one, or whatever. Also, there you can hire my personal services as your coach, psychologist, or spiritual guru, whatever is your problem. And also, there I will be posting all the books that I will be launching and the merchandise that is coming very soon. I see you in the next one.